Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. This is your one-stop shop for cryptocurrency analysis, among many other things. Now we're taking a look here today at TLM, which is Alien World, and I want to thank my patron, Philip, for requesting that I cover this here today. Really greatly appreciate you. Also, if you're new to the channel, definitely check out my Patreon community. I have a really good group of folks there, and I actually send out signals. We have trading bots. We have a great amount of fun here. Actually make trading pleasurable, right? So check that out. Of course, in your time, I have a link in the description below for an instructional video so you kind of know what to go, what you're getting into essentially if you go that route. Regardless, let's take a look here at Bitcoin first. This is the one-day chart. And I just like to quickly draw, kind of point out the fact that we are above this support channel. So we broke into it for a moment, but broke right back above. And the bottom line here is that the price came all the way down to 53,800. Bounced off the support, came back up to close above 56,000, therefore reaffirming that 56,000 is the new support. So really, really good stuff there. I would venture to guess if you were to take entry closer to 56, you'll probably take some profit right around 57.5, and the price could even continue past that. Just bear in mind we have a resistance level at 57,500. Okay, bear that in mind. But all in all, Bitcoin is doing very well. Now let's take a look here at TLM and see what's going on. Now we'll look at the big picture. Unfortunately, it had a really massive first day of trading, so we'll just go ahead and exclude that, and let's just go ahead and see that was back in April. And unfortunately, the open date here, at least the ICO date for Binance, I'm fairly confident this is this first day it was in the trading. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comment below, of course. But based on this chart here, with this ICO date being so strong, so high and so low, that's very common. That it's really close to that sell-off date too. Like April 17th was the first major Bitcoin sell-off. So unfortunately, it didn't have a great first start, so to speak, because that was terrible timing. But regardless of that, the price came down, came back up. You can see it did very well in May. And then, of course, Elon candle came along, China candle came along, and just pushed everything down. So the price was really, really low for quite a while. In fact, it's kind of low still, too, when you consider how high it did go and where it could be for now. So why don't we just go ahead and do this? Let's focus on drawing support and resistance levels and see kind of where we're at. So we can see it pretty consistent here, right around 74 cents. Appears to be the high. Again, we're not going to include the ICO there. We're just going to include when the one-day candlestick essentially closed, right? Which I think I'm a little off there, come to think of it. Let me move that up. We're about 75.5 cents. All right, so 75 cents roughly. That is the resistance level. We're a little ways away from that, obviously. However, taking a look at this right now, we can see the price is below the 50-day simple moving average. We don't have a 200 yet because it's not enough trading data, but being under the 50, that is considered a resistance level. Also note we are getting resisted out on the 50 as well on the RSI. So if you're new to just say trading in general or just the channel, I'm a firm believer in the fact that the 50 on the RSI is a pretty strong support and resistance level. You can see back here it kept bouncing. That was awesome, but now it keeps getting rejected. Yes, it broke above, but we're below again. Okay, so bottom line here, this is a resistance level, and we need to respect that until the price breaks back above. It's still considered bearish, in my opinion. We've also got a bearish divergence that may occur here where the bulls are losing control. We can see this amount of bullish volume is waning, so to speak, and the price is coming down. We might actually see this guy go like this, and we have the MACD essentially giving us a bearish divergence instead of a bullish convergence. So all in all, I don't love what I see here. I do love the fact that it's a fairly low price. I mean, if you compare where it's at right now, 20 cents, and where it could be upwards of just say 76 cents, yeah, that's a 2-3x coin right there. However, it hasn't shown any signs of picking up momentum. Let's take a quick look at the volume here and see. Yeah, we've got a dip in volume, all things considered, which is interesting because there was a ton of volume here, but again, right around this time frame, Bitcoin was starting to suffer, and of course we had that major El Salvador candle here, just drove the price even further down. So as you can see, when Bitcoin does poorly, TLM does extra poor. When Bitcoin does well, TLM also just pretty much goes straight sideways. So there's not a lot of guarantees here in the fact that it's going to recover, at least anytime soon. I know it's good to want to hope that it will, because obviously there's tons of potential. But you got to understand that, coins like these are kind of getting pushed to the wayside right now because we're not in altcoin season yet. Bitcoin has too much dominance right now, and a lot of coins like this are just getting pushed to the wayside. There's no interest because the large market cap coins are getting all the volume, right? I just covered BNB a moment ago. That one's taken off. It's probably going to break 500, going to hit 600 and then some. But coins like these, smaller market capitalization, they're essentially getting overlooked, for lack of better terms, right? So you might get lucky with a few here and there once in a while, but until altcoin season is in full effect and we see a lot more, just say top 100 coins taking off, then we're not going to see this happen just yet, because all that volume from Bitcoin has to filter down, right? Because the Bitcoin dominance right now is too high. So a lot of altcoins are struggling right now this month. And that's pretty normal because everyone's just focusing on Bitcoin. So just bear that in mind. Anyways, that's kind of what's going on with the one-day chart. Let's just take a quick look at the 4-hour. We're below both moving averages as well, at least below the 50. The 200 might potentially be considered a support level, but it's too early to tell here. So there's a potential shift in momentum here on the 4-hour, but I don't see a lot. There was a convergence on the MACD here right now, so typically that is a good sign for a long position. And the 50 on the RSI is below the price action, so there are some silver linings here, so to speak, on the 4-hour chart. But I prefer to use the one-day chart, and I don't see a lot of benefit on the one-day chart. But the 4-hour does look a little better. I don't know if that's helpful or hindering, but I can tell you that it's not not motivating me to want to invest. But truth be told, if you just put a small bag into this and see if it can double or triple, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's still a good price point. So don't feel terrible if you put some money in here and it goes down, because it'll probably eventually come back up to at least recover where it's at presently. So just something to note, again, that there's, I guess, a silver lining in every cloud, right? Speaking of the cloud, we just broke above the cloud. So I talk about this a lot, and this is usually a good sign. So, I mean, I'm not saying you just got to run here and just make an investment. But the simple fact of the matter is here, the price is above the cloud, and that's usually a good buy signal, especially when we have a convergence on the MACD chart on the 4-hour, right? So we just saw that. I think this being said, we should probably see a continuation to the upside. How much further it will go is hard to say. I mean, if you take a look at TD sequential, we're at a 7 right now. So we should experience some type of retracement or consolidation within the next couple of hours. That should go sideways and or possibly even retrace. But the cool thing is we're above the cloud right now, and I think that's a good sign. So again, the momentum is shifting to bullish. There's no doubt about that with that convergence on the MACD and the 4-hour. But again, big picture one-day chart is really not all that exciting, I guess you could say. And just keep in mind too, we're a little bit on the exhausted side here where the price comes up. I don't think we're going to see a significant shot up even much further. After a period of consolidation, I think that's likely, but for right now, I don't see that happening. Again, just invest with caution. I would say in a coin like this, put your money in, put a small percent, right? 1, 2, 3% of your portfolio, put it in here. I don't usually recommend this, but don't put a stop loss in place because of the fact that you could very well get stopped out. Just say Bitcoin does jump sub 53,000. Then we're going to see a sell-off here, because it has that knee-jerk reaction. Every time Bitcoin has a sell-off, it has to come down fast. Like, it was doing very well for itself recently, but then Bitcoin kind of stuttered out a little bit, and this one came down. This is an example of what I was referring to earlier with Bitcoin dominance. There's so much volume going into Bitcoin, people just sell their coins like this and put it into Bitcoin right now. That's basically what's going on. So just keep that in mind, because low volume equals high volatility, and high volatility isn't always a good thing, because you can't really count on the chart. You can't count on charting that type of scenario. Either way, hope you find this beneficial. Big picture, TLM has potential, of course, to get back where it was, but there's some major grounds to cover. Here's just one last little resistance I'll go ahead and add in here. 37 cents is a pretty strong resistance. You can kind of see that it got stunted out about 4 or 5 times. So the next major milestone is 37 cents as a close approximate. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and mark a quick support for you as well. 15 cents is a support. Okay. So if you're comfortable with getting in right now around 19, just say, it comes down to 15%, you'll be down, 15 cents, you'll be down about 20, 25%, depending on. That's why you don't set a stop limit in this case, because we have a good support here, and the price should either come down and bounce or at least continue upwards. So again, you don't want to do like a full-on day trade here, but a nice little bag on the side with the potential for it to come up. If you were to just say invest, have your first target, your first sell target be around 35 cents. just below the major resistance, so you can take your profit if it gets stopped out. And if it breaks through, all good. You just add to your position once it bounces off support again, right? That's usually the general idea. So I hope you found benefit here, of course. And if you'd like to find further benefit, become a better trader, go ahead and join me in my Patreon community there. We got an awesome group of folks. Awesome, just like Philip here for requesting that I cover this here. So thanks again, Philip. Appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.